We're joined now by Alon Melchner, who is with a company called WakingApp. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good to have you here.
I'm happy to be here, actually.
Good. So
it's nice.
You were the CEO, and then you are now president and head of strategic vision and technology, right? For WakingApp. So you decided to bring in somebody else to help you run the company.
Yeah, actually, it started like from really an idea or something. You know, my background is digital agency. I manage and kind of had a company that created or offers services. Even in the beginning of the internet, and I feel it's like it's happening again. We are in the beginning of a new era of medium. But I got tired of services, and I wanted to do something else. And I had a newborn kid. So I decided, okay, let's write a book. I know I'm a creative person in mind. So I sat down, wrote like 3 books. And then my business side came in and said, okay, who am I as an author? I cannot sell really. I cannot do business from that, really. So I looked for an edge. I looked for something interesting into it. And then I explored the idea of combining the digital and the physical. So it was a physical book with digital content on it. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. This was the beginning of WakingApp, actually. And because I saw that the technology that we have successfully done was useful, and I was coming from advertisement, knowing clients, and I needed money to pay for the employees. So then it was like offering it to all type of clients, like Nestle, SketchUp. We did some, everyone wants engagement with the product and things like that. So on this product, Domino's Pizza, all kind of things. So it was cool ideas, cool experiences that we tried, the audience and the clients, how they react to AR. And then it came to the final stage of evolution, that we said, okay, but we don't want to offer those services. We want others to do that. We want to enable the technology to others, and this is where we are now, actually.
So you were doing sort of work for hire and doing projects, but now you're actually helping the people that are doing that work by giving them the tools that can help them.
You can be even more accurate about it, because it was fun, because you were doing like a service providing for AR. There was almost no competition. We did things quite fast, but it cost a lot of money anyway. The developers cost a lot of money, and it did take like a month or 2 to release something. So no advertiser couldn't have done or planned something for a short time. We needed to plan like ahead, few months ahead.
Sure, because it takes so long to do it, right?
Only big companies could afford it because it cost a lot anyway, and the profit was not so high because developers cost a lot. So there were lots of pains there in the process of offering it. What we wanted to do, and this is what we have actually released, is a platform that now anyone can do it. I can do it now without my developers.
Really?
I told them, you are fired, you can go on. No, they're developing something else. But I don't need them now as a non-developer, as an artist, to create the same things that we did, and it took them 2 months. I can do that in a day or a few hours with our platform. And this is the revolution. Everything is immediate, everything is on the cloud, and anyone can do it. The entrance time is a few hours or few days instead of months or years. And so this can revolutionize lots of markets, and we are trying to do that.
So what could I create with your software? It's software, right?
Yeah, so you install it on your PC or your Mac, on your personal computer, and you get the creator. The creator is kind of a drag and drop tool, let's say. You can upload assets, video files, 3D models, sound files, pictures, whatever, and you kind of put them in space where you want them to be. It started
similar to a 3D application would be, as far as
in a way
initially laying out models and putting them in a 3D environment, basically.
But generally, 3D applications are for designing and sculpturing and things like that.
And animating over time.
Yeah, we relate to it. There is 3D space because VR and AR actually relate to 3D space. So this is the only kind of, if you want to call it, limitation or something that people who are not related to 3D needs to understand. But let's take this table, for example. I can put things on you understand it as in reality. You understand 3D in reality. So you need to understand 3D as an environment in the non-reality atmosphere or whatever. So the thing is that you take pre-made things. You don't design them. You take pre-made videos, edited videos, let's say, or 3D models that you can either ask for 3D artists to create, or you can buy from the internet, and you just place them on the scene. And let's talk about 2 things, because augmented reality is taking content, putting it on top of the real world. Mm-hmm. So if I have, let's say, a business card, and I want whoever scans my business card will see a character standing there with buttons that links to my website or whatever, and they appear on the card wherever I'm rotating it. So you relate to the card, and you place on the card, kind of, very visually, very, what you see is what you get, all the things that you want, and you click publish, it's automatically online on all devices. And this is the second part of I'm calling it part of a kind of a revolution for usage, for thinking. I'm actually talking to agencies, and I'll tell them many of them are lazy, if I may say, because they are used to the old school way of making money.
Right.
But maybe I'm harsh with them. But the idea is that now there are no more excuses for them, and I'm telling some of them to upgrade any ad, any piece of paper, any product. Can take 10 minutes or 2 hours, or 2 days if you're doing something big. There's no excuse for not doing that. Actually, you are not serving your clients right if you don't. So think about newspapers. You can print the newspaper at night. Before it will be marketed, all over, you can still change things with AR on it immediately. But I'm not talking about simple layers of linear content. You can get up to a level of games. Let's say mini games. It's not like AAA games, but you can create very interactive type of content, live database, live graphs, whatever you want, instantly, without any delays. It costs almost nothing. The platform actually is for free. We are offering it for free because we want it to grow. The main problem is educating the market. And if we go to VR, it's the same thing. And VR kind of started now. Everyone is talking about games and activities and entertainment. We are talking with therapists to treat kids. And the same white room, physical really, like real physical white room that they're putting them inside, and they have their own treatment ways and methods of how to treat them. They can now offer the same thing in VR. They can do it themselves. And they have kind of a controller, I know someone who's doing that, kind of a controller that you can control the amount of exposure they get, like the amount of light, pieces of toys in the room, whatever.
Oh,
so architecture, education, tourism, everything can be used now, and not only games. And I was in the panel and then with Sony and HTC, and I was telling them for it to succeed, it needs to be the next mass media. It needs to be containing everything, not only AA games that you can release 50 games a year.
How did they react to that?
Sony may have more difficulty of accepting that because they are console. But I told them also, you shouldn't remain static. You can have your part of the AAA games, but you should, if you open it and make it available, like the internet is, that everyone can create games. There are millions of, hundreds of thousands of games there. Some are basic, boring, and sometimes you find treasures,
Sure.
But the thing is, and this is the real exciting thing for me as a creator, as an inventor, I became modest because I cannot dream of thinking about what, if you take 100 people here and let them think of ideas, there's no way I will think of that, of what they will think of.
All the ideas that
because
they might
the power of the people, the brain of the people, the creativity, you can call it whatever you want. And this is what we are representing now. It's like millions of people can create millions of things that I can take it even in another way. There's no chance for enterprises, as creative as they are, to win the people, minds. Because they are, 100,000, I don't know how many, okay? People, you have 100 million potential creators. So imagine what they can do. Imagine the amount of content they can do, small or big. And this is the real future. This is how a new type of internet, it's not exactly the right, to compare them, but the idea of everyone creating something, small or big, this is what I'm trying to do now.
But within the VR sort of AR area, yeah.
We can discuss this if you want, because this square screen is obsolete as I see it. It's not supposed to be in 10 years, let's say.
It was a great representation for what you could do with the technology at hand. We can do a lot with this. We can do a lot more with something else.
Yeah, but you are limited to the screen size. You are limited to the square area. you are limited in a lot of things, and you are wasting metal, plastic, and manpower.
Oh, that's a good
that.
point too. Okay.
No, because it's like a cliche in a way, but holograms kind of viewing things, whether it will be glasses, or something in your eye or something in your brain, I don't know. It will happen. I know it for sure now. And maybe it's more intuitive. Maybe it's more the human kind of, what's supposed to be. Because you need to interact with the table and see the information on the table. You are interacting with the floor, you need to see things related to the floor. You want television, you can have a big screen on this wall. Why waste to buy 100-inch television, And so I'm kind of pitching a lot of time. I'm calling my presentation reality check, because it's a double meaning, But it's amazing how I think 99.9% of people don't even imagine what their life's going to be 5 to 10 years from now. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong and it will be 15, but I actually think less. The way we get data, digital data, the way we interact with whatever it is, will be more intuitive. We are now in the path of evolution and revolution and evolution, you may say. AR, VR is kind of the same thing, because imagine VR in this room. This is how it's supposed to be. You will replace this room, but with the exact kind of physics dimensions and whatever. And if you want AR, it will be the same room with the mouse running on the floor. So, I became going the very. I'm thinking a lot of that because, as you define my position, I'm inventing. I'm thinking strategy. I'm thinking what should be. It's actually very interesting to see what effect it will have on the psychology of people and the society and everything. Because
I ask that a lot. Some you get a better experience, let's say, in the right virtual environment than they can have in their daily lives.
Right.
Many people throughout the earth, throughout the world, have difficult lives, hard lives, scary lives, and just all kinds of things. So to be able to remove yourself from that temporarily, and then the other side for us to understand. So your company is based just out of Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
So since I was a little boy, I've heard stories about, missiles coming over or rockets coming over. We hear this, right? And since I was a little boy, I had a chance to go to Israel when I was a very young kid. My mom wouldn't let me go.
Really?
Yeah, because she was afraid something would happen.
Because of the unknown is scary.
Because the unknown, but also what you hear on television. But with VR or AR technology, you can bring somebody to that experience so they can really gain more of an understanding of what it's like, and how will that change humanity? It's interesting, right?
Yeah, and again, we can talk about it in many levels of changing. The short term, you talked about kids, or maybe, I don't know, kids in Africa, and they all have, Africa, for example, has a very large percentage of mobile usage. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the smartphones, but they do have, because they find it as a useful tool. Even pay everything with that in some countries. But I don't see that as an escape. Maybe I'm more optimistic in my point of view. Escape is the one way of looking at it, but learning and exploring and being part of groups that they could have been here with us live.
Yes.
This is more important than just escaping. They can do things. They can, of course, be in Paris. That they will never be them. That maybe otherwise.
Themselves, yeah.
Yeah, but again, this is like if we'll do it right, and this is why it's so big with the potential of what can be done there. That when I'm thinking of it, I'm excited, really, because really, and I really feel that, because I want to create many things. I learned actually to be focused. It's hard for someone who is inventing all kinds of things, but this is as a business-oriented thing. But I think even the company may have helped me do that, because I don't need to do all those things that I would have liked to do. I don't need to solve all those pains. And actually, every person, every business knows their own pains. The only thing they don't know that they have a solution or potential solution for that. Okay, and this is the only thing that stops or delays content creation as we see it, because we now solve the technology issues. Everyone can get in like in hours. The only thing you need to understand is what you can do with that, and this will take a bit more time. So this is why I'm here, for example, to offer the early adopters, the artists, the creators that may deal or think of VR or not, but I'm sure that most of them have dreamed to create something by themselves. But then they need, okay, I need to find developers. Where do I find them? Can I find them? Now I need the budget to pay all those developers for a large amount of time. And many things that blocks this way to create something. And when I'm meeting some of them, they are excited as I am, because I can now create things in hours.
Very quick amount of time.
And if he has they only need to invest in art. No technology issues, no delays related to technologies. So the only time it will take you is how much time it takes you to create the animation or the environment that you want. If it's already prepared, it may take you minutes or hours, or if it's something really big, it will take days. Okay? There's no competition for that. They can compete with the best developers, and it will cost, I don't know, 10% of what they will charge or whatever. So now there are no excuses anymore. Yeah.
So if I was doing a VR experience, I might think, well, do something in a game engine, for example,
right,
and have the learning curve and everything, and being able to bring in my assets, whether they're 3D assets, well, there would be 3D assets, there'd be 2D assets, all kinds of imagery, so I could bring that into a game platform, and then create an experience that people could go through, whether it's headset or whether it's through 2D.
As an artist or as a developer?
As an artist, to do a lot of things, it's going to take a lot of time to understand.
Right.
But you could do that. Now you have a different way of doing that, where I can bring in all my assets. Audio also assets?
Yeah. 3D models with animation. You can control every part of the animation, whatever you want. Video, spherical video, even stereoscopic. Now we just launched a new version that can embed 4K video stereoscopic. So you get like a really realistic 3D. I don't know if you experience stereoscopic rather than non-stereoscopic video.
Yeah.
It makes it feel 3D. You can touch things, even though it's just one layer of video. You know? So imagine this is the sphere or the table. Okay, so you can surround yourself, let's say, in a forest, and the leaves are moving and everything, and you can render it in very high quality. But this is what 360 degrees videos are. In the platform itself, I can now put inside more layers of videos. A green screen person, that was taken on a green screen, and you have like a transparent person that's walking without the background. So you have the background, you have the person, you have a 3D object there, you have multi-layers of things that they can interact and be totally interactive up to a level of game. And you can do that in hours. Again, this is like, it's not reasonable for anyone who understands what it takes. I once wanted to compete with Unity developers or something like that, because as a non-developer.
Right.
In the end, they will win, but it depends on how much time it will take them to do it. So I don't know exactly. We are trying to look, of course, and there are different types of platforms that can do simple things like video layers with interactive things. The ability to do such complex interactivity with so many layers and everything, in Unity you need to learn to know C#.
Right.
And Unreal Engine is very good and again very advanced. It's hard to learn that. It's not everything is possible, but the learning curve is the question. So we have started to create things with universities and colleges that start to, one semester, 12 meetings. Mm-hmm. A person after the second one, he starts creating content. So he finishes the one semester thing with 12 meetings with a big show, portfolio of things. And so this is why I'm here. I'm inviting everyone. I'm excited about everyone joining in and
see what they can create.
Yeah, and we are offering all the help we can. We are kind of making an ecosystem now and a marketplace for clients, or someone wants services, so we send them the people we know that can offer them good services.
Right.
We are taking third-party technologies and embed them and enable them. We have, for example, joysticks for VR. It comes with an SDK, so again, the artist cannot use it. So what we have done now is embedded into one drag-and-drop command. And now you can have a lion on the table that you can move with the joysticks. So everything,
right.
we are combining everything together into the center of the content creation tool. And I don't know what will come out of it.
Sounds exciting, yeah.
Yeah, I see every day new type of content that we didn't think of as an idea of content. This is more exciting about seeing the final result. New ideas, new use cases, new pains that being solved, and so this is the exciting. This is why it's exciting era for now.
That's great. Well, Alon, thank you so much for sharing this. So it's WakingApp, right?
WakingApp, yeah.
So check it out, everyone. It sounds like it's pretty cool. I'll check it out after the show. I'm very curious to
Everyone
take a look.
can get in and download it for free and start using it, and we will help anyone who wants to create things and create maybe case studies, solve more problems.
Great.
This is like.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. Thank you.